So greetings everyone and welcome to Powertime Practice here on Saturday, the 25th of November, 2017, at least here in Eastern Standard Time. And maybe it's a different day and time for you wherever you are in the world. Although thank you for joining. And my name is Sutrita and I have a co-host today, Radha. She is going to be sharing with us some important times that we need to be aware of so that we can tap into the energy that's behind the time. And then we can get more in a natural alignment with the way things are flowing out behind the scenes. And so we don't feel like we're swimming upstream. We can be just going with the flow. And then that helps our psychology, also our body, our mind, our soul. We become more at ease so that when we are doing our practices, either through Pillai Center, Astroved, or we've learned about Dr. Pillai through Nambu Herbs or Tripura Foundation, however you've got here, maybe the YouTube, you have come across so many teachings and so many services and so many offerings and how to integrate it all. So that's what we do here every week is we come together and we share about the month ahead according to how the sun is going to impact us. And it transits a sign in the zodiac every 30 days or so. And it just transited around the mid-month, which was about last week. And so Radha she's a Vedic astrologer, and she's going to share with us how we can make the most out of our time and pay attention to our soul's yearning, because the sun represents the soul inside of us. So the big sun that makes everything to grow and makes everything to light up and makes everything to happen in the world, because if we don't have the sun, nothing is going to happen. So that's what we have. The soul is our sun inside of us. So we want to align those two energies and then see what we can do, practically speaking. And so Radha is so awesome at sharing with us very easy, practical tips and insights. And then I'll jump in there and we'll have a lively discussion. But we will also have a meditation. So Radha is going to share the sun transit and then also power times that we should be alert and aware about. And then if we can participate in services, or we can chant a mantra, or we can do some spiritual practice that will help to open the door during that power time and then let the divine come in. So we will do a meditation after her talk, and then we'll open up for discussion moving forward. So Radha, are you here? Radha?
Hello.
Hi Radha, how are you?
Good.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and your loved ones, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm from Canada, so we already had our Thanksgiving, and you did too as well in the US, but there's people from all around the world who tap into the energy of gratitude. So I'm very grateful that you're here today. We're all grateful that you're here and you're able to share with us your insights and about the sun transit and maybe some power times.
Yeah, great. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me. And it's always great to talk about the energies of time, because it's so easy to get into slow time where things aren't really working, or it's not, time wasting time. But the more we become conscious of these time energies, it's like the more they'll send us blessings instead of problems. So even just talking about them is powerful, and becoming aware of what planets and stars are active in the moment. So as Sutrita, as you mentioned, we just had a transit of Sun into Scorpio last week, and it's going to be traveling through Scorpio for a month till mid-December. And it's really, the sun is like your power and the action you take in the world. And so sun is really going to be lighting up Scorpio, the natural eighth house of obstacles and transformation and change. And it's the most occult of all the signs. And so this may be a time when you feel your soul guiding you to learn more about Vedic astrology, or delving into these occult practices. Occult just means kind of out of the ordinary and secretive practices that Dr. Pillai teaches. Of course, his practices are all positive. Sometimes in the media you could hear occult as, associated with kind of like a negative thing. But here we only do practices that are positive. We're helping to bring positive manifestations into the world. And so, using these mantras to manifest. And this is actually through the end of the year and beyond. It's a very good time to use the, hidden occult supernatural practice of the Shri Brazil mantra. This is because Venus is in a good position now. Right now, Venus is in its own sign, which is Libra. Tomorrow, Venus is going to be moving into Scorpio. And that's still going to be a powerful position for Venus, meaning that it's going to be a great time to do the Shri Brazil mantra, and it's going to be more effective for us. Because Venus and Mars are then going to be exchanging signs, actually starting on the 29th. In a couple days. And so they're going to be like supporting each other, making each other stronger, and creating a good environment where we can do the Shri Brazil, whether you're in one of Dr. Pillai's programs where you practice it, or you can always do things through his YouTube teachings. Dr. Pillai will definitely meet you wherever you are. And so Shri Brazil is going to be very popular and powerful. And that said, having the sun in Scorpio, sometimes Scorpio can be tricky because it's like you're really kind of like plumbing the depths of the emotions, that maybe different stored emotions or memories or different karmas can get stirred up. And it's kind of like if you're washing a pot that's really has a lot of baked on or cooked on food. As you're scrubbing it out, all that baked on stuff and burnt on stuff, it gets broken up and it comes to the surface. And so it can feel kind of messy while you're doing it, but it's part of the process of just cleaning that up. So that's how it can feel sometimes when sun is in the natural eighth house, so if you feel those karmas coming on, old stuff, memories from the past, Dr. Pillai has given some really great technologies to deal with that, like get a lemon or a lime and then roll it, and then cut it and get rid of it, throw it away. Or you can even do it with a coconut. It's more powerful with a coconut. Or call on Ganesha. That's a quick thing to do any time of the day. So this may be a good time to, this month, explore some of the mysteries, explore some of these supernatural happenings and techniques. Maybe go to like a spa retreat, or do something to strengthen your health. Build up your health, and try to get the support from others, and, don't be too like isolated, or, make sure that you stand up and get that recognition at your work or business. So that's this month with Sun and Scorpio. Of course, the effects that it has on you are going to be individual, because we each have our own individual chart and horoscope. But this is in general for all of us in the world. Sun is in the natural eighth house, so this does affect us. And when we see in the world, sometimes there'll be a lot of turmoil in the world. When the eighth house is really activated. We saw that when Saturn was in the eighth house, Scorpio, for most of the past 3 years. So it's something to be aware of, but we have a lot of tools to go through life with grace and ease, as Sutrita always says, use those limes. And also, let's see, I just wanted to give a little overview of the 3 nakshatras or birth stars that the sun is going to be lighting up as sun moves through Scorpio, because each of these zodiacs are split up into like smaller constellations or groups of stars, and this just further refines our understanding of the energies of the day and week and month. And so this whole year we've been examining the nakshatras in each zodiac, and we're just about to the end of the series. We just have this month and one more. So I just want to say a little bit about these. And the first one is Vishaka. We talked about it a little bit last month, but it's really an exuberant star, and it's symbolized by like a gateway, like covered with leaves, like that you would, like an archway that you would go through in a garden, or sometimes in weddings, the couple will go through a gateway. And Vishaka really relates to that exuberant state right after you achieve something. You go through the triumphant gateway, and you might be partying a lot and celebrating, but at the same time there is like a bit of a sense of emptiness, because okay, I achieved that, now what? So then it's you're going through the gateway, and you've got to choose your new goal. It's a very goal-oriented star. This is your star, then you probably are very success-oriented, and you probably easily get fixated on certain things. And so the key with this star is to fixate on healthy, life-affirming obsessions. People with this star really strong are constantly seen to be presented with 2 paths. They can go down this path or this other path. And so the trick is just always to be choosing the best things to obsess on and to manifest. And actually, Vishaka is also called Radha. It's associated with the goddess Radha, and it's actually part of a pair. It's lesser known, but Vishaka is sometimes, some of the nakshatras are like in a pair, and so the next nakshatra is Anuradha, and it's like the second part of the pair, and it kind of it relates. It means like another Radha or the next Radha, and it's also a star of success, but it's kind of like it's someone who has an Anuradha star strong on their chart. They get their success through working with other people, through networking and through friendships. This star has a lot to do with friendships. And a lot of times the goals that you have in Anuradha are more kind of aligned with the universal flow of things. And it's like you accomplish a lot through group work. And this star, it brings luck with when you live in a foreign place or go on foreign trips. It's symbolized by the lotus, which is a flower that has a great deal of beauty and purity, even though it grows in very muddy waters. So it's always a reminder of that you could be beautiful and pure no matter where you're placed in the world. And so Anuradha is also goddess Lakshmi's birth star. And so it's really a star of wealth. It's associated with a lot of wealth. So when this star happens one time during the month, each month, it's definitely a good day to do your Shrim Brazi practices, because it's bringing in a wealth energy. So the last star that makes up the zodiac of Scorpio is called Jyeshta, and it is a star. It means like the oldest, the eldest, like the older sister. It's symbolized by an earring, which is something that kings always wore in olden days. So this is a star of authority, and people who have the star as their birth star, or they have it, important planets in the star in their chart, they'll often have a position of authority, and especially something along the lines of police or military or other types of occupations that are associated with Mars, Marshall. And Jesta is one really wonderful thing about the star is that is the ability to protect those who are weaker and need help. The motto of many police departments is protect and serve. And so that is that's a really wonderful thing about the star. And this star can also give prosperity, but an interesting thing is that it usually only gives prosperity through like occult or supernatural means. And originally, this star was the last one in the zodiac. There was only, they say that in older times, there was only 18 birth stars. Now we have 27, but it's like the end of a cycle, but then a new cycle opened up after that. So that's just a little bit about those 3 stars. And we just have 3 more to look at next month, and then we've gone through the whole series. And each star happens every month, and try to find out which is your birth star, because that's definitely a power day for you each month, like a mini birthday. And it'll be a good day for you to do something towards to focus on your goals and desires. And the last thing here is to let's see what the energies hold for us this week. Tomorrow, Venus is entering Scorpio, and there's going to be a live fire lab that Astrovet is doing, and it's going to be at 4 a.m. Pacific time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. It turns out when Venus enters Scorpio, it's a good time to alleviate Rahu afflictions by invoking goddess named Varahi, who has like a boar's head. So definitely, if you get a chance, tune into that or watch the replay afterwards. On Monday, we have, it's going to be Dr. Pillai's birth star. And so this is going to be a great time to connect with him inwardly and give thanks for the spiritual teachings that you've received from him. And it'll be powerful to do your meditations. Then we have on Wednesday, Mars is going to be entering Libra. So at that point, Venus and Mars are going to be exchanging signs and supporting each other more for the next few weeks. It's also going to be, Wednesday the 29th. It's also going to be the 11th moon. So that is going to be a really great day for doing a Shringrazi meditation and or chanting. Because that's a day that has a lot of wealth energy. Some people like to do a fast or a partial fast on the 11th moons. Oh, sorry about that. My ringtone. Dr. Pillai talked about how the sound of the rooster crowing, it like scares away the dark energies. That's why the rooster crows like right in the dawn of each morning. And I put it as my ringtone. I've been enjoying it because it's cleaning up any kind of negative energies. So, okay. And then what else do we have? We have a Pradosham. It's going to be like Thursday night into Friday, kind of depending on where you are in the world. But that's the 13th moon, and that's the time when you can dissolve a lot of karma. Do your Thirni Lakantam, pour the milk or the water, juice over Shiva Lingam around sunset time. So that's a good opportunity because especially Thursday night, let's see, Thursday night, if you're like in Pacific time, definitely will be Pradosham around sunset. In Eastern time, Pradosham won't start till after sunset already. So you can celebrate it on Thursday, but you can also do it on Friday. Or you could do both, whatever you like. It doesn't hurt to do a bit more to dissolve more karma. But Pradosham on Thursday dissolves like curses you might have had in the past, like you might have earned them through disrespecting your guru or your spiritual teacher. And then Pradosham on Friday dissolves sins that have been blocking wealth. So that's important too. Then Saturday, we have special full moon. Every full moon is special, and they're all slightly different depending on the birth star and the zodiac that is activated. This one is the Deepam one, where millions of people will go to walk around Arunachala, the mountain of fire. And Astroved is going to do a big thing where they make a lot of food and distribute it to the pilgrims, which is a wonderful way you can sponsor a certain number of people's meals through Astroved, and it's a wonderful way to receive blessings. And it's a full moon. It can help to reduce the ego. It's the mountain of fire, and it kills your ego, and it dissolves a lot of past karma as well. So, it'll be a very, very good time to do any type of spiritual practices, and or jump on the calls. Any of the Pillai Center calls, we'll have our Powertime practice call, and it definitely will be a powerful meditation that day. Because even if you don't meditate other days, if you can do it on the full moon, that's going to be very good. It's going to be powerful. So that's the overview of this coming week, and I'd like to see what commentary Sutrita has on that.
Yes, Radha. Awesome. So as always, it's great to get inspired about the time that is coming up. And as you mentioned, oops, I think we have some feedback, Radha. Do you want to mute?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thanks so much. So when we're doing our practices, then we can tap into the energy of time. And it seems like this week is going to be a time where we can do practices that are going to help us with manifestation, because we're moving from a new moon phase going into a full moon phase. And the full moon is when we go into that waxing or getting bigger cycle. It just means that we're going to come out in the world. We're going to, during the waning phase, we were going more inside. We were cleaning up inside. We were doing our meditation practices, and we were discovering what we didn't like about ourselves, or maybe in our life we didn't like some things in our life, or how we were seeing our patterns that are causing us anxiety, or the patterns that are causing us to feel like we're not making any progress, or we're even stuck and we don't even know where to go. And then all these hidden fears and all these hidden anxieties are preventing us from having a positive outlook. So on the waxing cycle, then that is, we're going more outside of us. We're saying, okay, enough of the cleaning inside. Let's get out and let's do what we can to clean up our life. So that might look like, cleaning out closets. It might look like cleaning out your desk or your car, or cleaning up your relationships, cleaning up how you present yourself. So it can be a time where you have been thinking about what you want to do, and now you're taking action. And the action can be that you're doing more of your spiritual practices on the go. So you're not necessarily sitting down and in your meditation room on your mat. You can be in your car. You can be chanting mantras anytime, internally, or you can be doing that when you're traveling, or you can be listening to it with your earbuds on. You can be having your computer playing, the audio is playing. And it's not just listening to mantras, it can be your whole meditation practice, because you are able to be in this world and do the things that you need to do, but also to tap into the energy of your practices as well. So that's one of the ways in which, when people come to Pillai Center or Asirvad, they say, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I have so many mantras. I have so much to do, so much to think about. How do I implement it all? I could be doing this 24/7. And you're absolutely right. But here's the thing with the mantras. And here's the thing with your spiritual practices, whether you're in a structured program or not, whether you watch Dr. Pillai's YouTube and all the teaching there and find out that every moment is new. So whatever mantra comes, whatever practice comes, that is the being. That is the energy behind time. That is the power time. So we're tapping into the energy of time. And the energy of time that we want to tap into is the eternal energy. So all these archetypes, all divine beings across the culture, across every culture, they just change names, they change storylines, but the archetypes are part of the collective unconscious that has been forever. And then we get to experience it every lifetime that we come back. We get to experience some aspect of it. And so if you're coming across Dr. Pillai's teachings, and here we are today, there's some lifetime where you were interested in learning about how to implement this knowledge and the spiritual technology into your life, because it made your life a little bit better, or a whole lot better, or you didn't pay attention to it and here you are again and you get a second chance. And the sun being in Scorpio, the sign where it's occult knowledge, as Radha shared, it's hidden knowledge, it's knowledge that is within us that's coming out. So it's interesting that this manifesting moon cycle is also at the time where the sun is pushing us to go, not only go within, but also to now express that. And we'll be in alignment with that digging down, and also taking action and seeing how it shows up in life. Because that's what life is. We're going to have ups and downs. We're going to have those emotional experiences where we have kind of like a dark night of the soul. Not kind of like, a lot of us do. We find that, oh my God, we're going along, we're on a spiritual path, and why is it that I'm hitting against a wall? Or I'm despondent, or I don't even know what I'm doing anymore, or nothing is working for me in my life. We're touching that part of our soul that says, okay, pick yourself up and get doing your spiritual practice again, because everything in life changes, regardless if you think that you're on a spiritual path or not. We're spiritual beings. So everybody has this birthright inside of them to express their soul's intelligence and to make that to show up in life. And it's almost our duty, because there is no other reason for having a life unless you are full of vitality, unless you are full of grace, and you want to better yourself and better the lives of your family members, your community, and all those around you. So if you look in your life and you see that there's not the greatest relationships, or maybe no relationships at all, then you've got to take a look at that. And you've got to just start to take the steps. So being on this waxing moon cycle, you will be able to start taking steps to express yourself, express that divinity in a whole new way. And so you might be revisiting those things that you've dug up inside of you, and it's a little bit of muddy waters, but that's okay. You can make your practices, you can do your practices with the intention that you're going to bring more love, more kindness, more compassion for yourself and everyone around you, and less judgment, and then more acceptance of what is, because everyone is going through their own battle in life, right? And so when we're saying, oh, he did this or she did that, and you don't forgive, then being on the spiritual path, or even just being in this life, it's not going to be easy for you to progress. So we have these power times that will support, at least this week anyways, support that process where we are churning up inside of us. We've already churned it up. The sun is illuminating that area of our life that is hidden from us, that needs attention. And then when we are doing our practices or making choices in life, then we can come from that place of unconditional support, unconditional love, knowing that it's the brighter side of the moon. And whatever we do or say, if it's done from the heartfelt place, then, and it's supported by our meditation practices, or it's supported by a mantra practice, or maybe participating in some services that are offered through Pillai Center Astrovid, then we know we're rising above that which is so difficult for humans to do on your own without, because you get caught up in your mind and the thoughts spin. And when the thoughts spin, they spin out of control and we become obsessed. So when you were sharing, Radha, about the nakshatras, Vishaka, it is a goal-oriented star, and it can also obsess. So be careful what you're obsessing about. Be careful what thoughts you're spinning, because thoughts are karma. Karma is derived from your thinking process. Whatever you thought in previous lifetimes, whatever you're thinking now in this lifetime, and whatever you're worried about or thinking about in the future that hasn't even happened, that's karma. So people say, is it my karma? That's why I'm stuck. We're stuck because we are not shifting our thoughts from what we were destined to do. We carried it on, the same thinking. So Dr. Pillai's teaching, the main teaching that he has come to share with the whole world, is that you can change your destiny through the examination or assessment of your thoughts, and then how the thoughts show up in actions in life. Whether you're thinking to yourself or speaking aloud your thoughts, and then what happens? How do you act? And that's karma. So if it's not great thinking to yourself, whatever you're saying to yourself, and you're not having a good time, or it's difficult or challenging even, or you're so stuck you can't even relate to anyone or relate to whatever it is that you're doing, and then you're psychologically or emotionally challenged, you have emotions flying, and you want to be right and make someone wrong, or you want to be wrong and make someone right, and it's not fulfilling and not rewarding. So we have to stop that obsessing over that which is no longer serving us. And we do it in every moment, but how can we do that? We are so busy in our life. We don't even know that we're thinking sometimes until we have moments where we're just overwhelmed. And then we go, oh my God, I got to stop thinking about this, or I have to think of this in a different way. That's all karma. It's not that you can't stop thinking, but you can definitely take a break from it. And so the mantra, if you're doing a mantra practice, it will come in and be a thought interrupter. And it will bring in the divine thinking. And it will help to clear your mind, give you more energy, give you more vitality. Now, sometimes when we're doing too much mantra practice, or we're doing too much spiritual practice, it can bring in too much energy, and then we are like overwhelmed. So the key is when we are in this waxing cycle, we, like Vishaka Star says, we can go through the gate and celebrate how we have come to this point in our lives, but then there's an emptiness. So we got to fill it up. Wherever there's an emptiness in the whole universe, there's a void, it has to be filled. So you don't want to keep filling it up with the negative thoughts. So how do you do that? Well, you can take a lemon, as Radha said, and this full moon is the star of, is a full moon that's associated with the Kritika star constellation, and that is associated with Lord Muruga. And Lord Muruga is the divine archetype who gets rid of your karma, gets rid of those bondages that you find yourself in, in relation to yourself or other people. Or maybe you're just only relating to yourself and you're pushing everyone away. And the whole life is all about relationships. You know, I mentioned it last night during the fire lab we had for Wealth Rising. And someone asked, can the mantras help to heal my relationships? And it's true, they can, or the services or any of the programs that are offered through Apply Center Astrovet. Definitely, they can help, but then we have to be doing what we need to do to repair those relationships or make them into something that is more fulfilling, more rewarding. So it's all about us. So doing a practice this week, which is taking a lime and you've got your veil, you can just stick it in the lime. And that is a spiritual technology that will do so much for you. It will stop the nonsense, the stuff that makes no sense to you. Why would you obsess on negative thoughts? Because it's the karma pushing you, and it's downloading at this time from the Akashic records. That's why we meditate. We go up to the Akashic records so that we can pull down better karma, better thinking. But we have to do the action afterwards. So sometimes it might be that you pick up a phone and say you're sorry, or write an email and say you're sorry to someone that you've offended. And so that might be something that will be supported right now because you've dug it up from inside of you, and now you can take the action to go and do. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do that if it's frightening for you. You can also write a letter or write an email, never send it. You can just, in your meditations, you can send out loving thoughts towards those other people because you love yourself. So yourself meaning your highest self. And when you love your highest self, then the divine will just go and do whatever it needs to do to open that avenue of communication with the other person or persons. It might be at your workplace where you can't just speak your mind or your emotions freely. You can't express your feelings because then that might compromise you. And that's okay. People don't need to know what your personal life is all about. But you can present yourself in a whole new way with the divine supporting you. All of a sudden, the right words will just come. And your way of being, people will say, hey, what are you up to? Because you'll be shining. You will be shining with that divinity. You will have a little hidden secret like, I love you anyways, even though you're being very difficult, I guess. But just remember, your soul wanted to experience it. That's why Dr. Pillai says, your soul is the problem. You wanted to experience this crises that you're having, or this difficult time, or these challenges, or these blocks, or you're in a rut, or you're just completely stuck, or you're completely obsessed and mad over things not happening in the way that you want it to happen, and why is it this way? So that's good. You've come to that point of assessment. But then you can't sit around and analyze. You got to just say, okay, I, as a limited human being, I'm going to just keep doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting different results. And even if I do my meditation practices, what's going to come up are all my nastiness, my nasty little critters' ways of being. And that's the truth, because you wouldn't notice it in someone else if it didn't push your buttons inside. So it's all really, this whole life and lifetimes, past, present, or future, are all about each and every one of us. It's all about you. It's all about me. It's all about the other person. Everyone's living in their own world. And that's the truth. However, if we take it to the higher state of being, then the divine will come in and be able to help to everyone to navigate in a whole new way that's more fulfilling, more rewarding. So Vishaka star is like we're going through this gateway now, and we're going to experience some divinity that we haven't explored yet. We can never be the same as we were even 1 second ago. There's a new energy coming in all the time. So instead of going, okay, now what, now what, now what, we just start being. And so when we are being miserable, or being totally happy, or being flatlined and nothing is happening, then we have to call in these mantras, these archetypes that have been around forever and ever and ever. As Dr. Pillai shares, the myths are true forever. Those stories about the archetypes are eternal. And you might not understand it, and they might be in different languages, and they might have different storylines around them. But the myths, the characters of the myths will show inside of us and inside of each and every one. So we'll start to play in this realm of life where we are seeing the energy of the myths, the intelligence of the myths, the story, the spiritual energy, the intelligence coming through us as we explore it through practices, through participating in services, through reading about it, through meditating. You're pulling eternity into you in that moment. You know, everybody talks about the now. How do we pull eternity into the now? We shouldn't have any effort. So being in alignment with power times, then you are already in the now. And then what is available is very high consciousness within you, and also around you, and in all the whole universe. So the time element for the star Anuradha, the energy behind that time, is to, now we've walked through the arches, and then we have, we can be around people. So relationships might be something that you will start to explore. If you aren't around people, maybe you're hermit-like a little bit, or you're just pulled back because maybe you're healing from some challenging relationships, and you just wanted to do your spiritual practices. That's okay, but it might be a time where you start to feel like you want to get out there. So the goddess Lakshmi, she's going to help to bring heaven on earth, because she represents everything that is like in heaven. It's so awesome. You know, everyone has everything, all the comforts. You have joy, you have happiness, you have abundance. It's not measured only by the amount of money in your bank account or the minus sign. It's, you know, it's how you're being, and then that will get raised. So do your Shrim Brazi practices, because this is also the waxing cycle where the full moon is coming, and that is a full moon of the goddess as well. Even though it's Deepam and it's associated with Lord Muruga, Kritika star, it is also always a time for you to access the energy of all the saints, all the siddhas, all the spiritual divine beings who have been here in previous lifetimes, and then who have come again and again and again to, as Dr. Pillai says, to explore or experience more of the evolutionary process. The earth plane is a really powerful plane. And I love when Dr. Pillai says that even divine beings come here because this is the only place or the only plane of existence that rituals can be done. So it makes sense why your soul has brought you here. It knows the path to divinity is through ritual. And even if you look at if you don't look at it from a, sort of a religious or a cultural way of being and practicing your rituals, just look at your everyday life. If you don't get up and take a shower and go and brush your teeth and then have something, put your clean, fresh clothes on, have something to eat, and then get on with your day, and you do all those rituals throughout the day just to get through your activities of daily living. And then at nighttime, you wind down and you got rituals going on all day long in order to keep you healthy and happy, and then to pay for your bills and take care of your kids and or your loved ones and yourself. So all that is ritual. So don't be too worried when you come across Dr. Pillai's teachings and, oh my God, there's rituals. I don't know if I believe in all that. It's divinity. It's divine technology that's just taking you to a higher level of being. Why do you want to be at a higher level of being? Because it's lighter. It's happier. It's not, just brushing your teeth and being miserable. I gotta go do my next thing. It will make you to feel like you're waking your soul up, and there's more life, more vitality. It's the key that unlocks that. So do your ritual practices, whether it's just mundane activities, knowing that you are God, you are connected to all these divine beings of eternity, and that is within you, and it's also outside of you, and it's a mixture of everything. And so that's why we go up and down until we can learn how to navigate, learn when we are going to be able to do things internally and really derive benefit from our spiritual practices, and then take that energy and go manifest, go do something with it. So Anuradha will make us to go out and explore how we interact with others. And then just a star is a star of success. So we want to be the one who just keeps being that spiritual warrior, not in an aggressive way. I just did this like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But in a way that you're going to bring in that no matter what is happening in your life, no matter what background you come from, no matter what has happened to you or your family, whatever that pattern of behavior has been that you carried maybe through your ancestors, the lineage that you were born into, the soul group that you said, hey, I want to go and play that story out. And now our DNA is connected to those beings, those ancestors who are no longer in the physical body, but we share that DNA. So sometimes we may think, oh my God, I just said something like my father or my mother, they're passed, and it sounds like, and I just did this thing that is just like them. Why is that? Well, because we share the DNA. Even though they're gone, we share the DNA. So we have to take care of that DNA by doing these spiritual practices. So that's pretty much what I wanted to comment about what we're doing this week and how we can harness the energy of this month ahead with the sun transiting through those stars. It kind of gives us an overview of the general areas of our life that we can find ourselves raising our consciousness and then putting into practice that which we have been doing in our meditations or in our rituals that we do, mantra practice and so on, or maybe the services that we are going to be able to participate in. The November 26th, I'm just looking at my notes here. November 26th is all about Rahu And you had mentioned, Radha, about Varahi, the goddess Varahi. And the goddess Varahi is a goddess energy, archetypal energy that is eternal, meaning that you can access her. And you can participate in the services that are offered through Pillai Center Astrovid. That it's called Rahu snake affliction. Varahi, the goddess who removes these kinds of like poisons, or you know, if you look in your relationships, because that's what this is going to be about. This month ahead is going to be about how you're relating to yourself and how you're relating to others. So if you are bickering, or you're fighting, or you're not saying anything, you're just passive aggressive, and you're just like, you know, grinding that energy inside of you, and it's not helping you or anyone. So that might be that you have a snake affliction. A snake is a mystical being. So if you have harmed snakes, or maybe your ancestors harmed snakes, or maybe someone in your family who's alive has harmed snakes, but that because you're joined in your DNA, you share your DNA, you're feeling the curse of that, the result of that energy that is behind you harming a mystical being. So whether you believe it or not, it happens. And you can look at where Rahu is in your chart. And if you don't know where Rahu is in your chart, there's a fabulous service that's offered through Pillai Center and Astrovid for 2018. And so we'll talk about it after we do our meditation. But I participated in the 2017 service. It was called Create Your 2017. And as I look back, because now we're moving into the final month, December, and I look back to those 11 months, and I can track with that Create Your 2017 report and everything that happened in my life during this whole year. I can track back to all those significant moments that the astrologer had written in the report and had shared during the consultation, because you can get you'll get consultations, you can participate in fire labs that will help you to raise your consciousness, so your level of awareness is more acute of what is lying ahead. What's the road ahead for you in 2018? So back in 2017, even though we haven't finished it, I can see, oh my goodness, this is where it was going to be really turbulent, and it could have been just so brutal if I had not had that roadmap, so to speak, where I knew that there were challenges, or there were opportunities that I would have totally missed, because I read it and I said, that doesn't resonate with me. But then it happened in a way that I was just blown away. Like, how did this happen? It just came out of nowhere. So you continue to do your spiritual practices, but put them into play somewhere. And if you have the roadmap of your life ahead, and then you can also look back and see it too, and see how you've grown, see where your goals, we get this intention setting exercise. What do we do with that? If our goal, we don't even know what our goals are, or we're not sure we're not sure if these goals that we want to manifest, or we think we want to manifest, are not going to just produce the same old. So the Creating Your 2017 for me last year, and then just rolling out this year, I was totally blown away in so many ways. And the energy that I had and the vitality that I had every day was almost like this roadmap, because I had it in my hands and I would look at it every day. Did I do all the things that it was recommended? No, I didn't, to be honest, because it's so overwhelming. However, I did key things when they were coming around those times that were very challenging, or the times that I was like, how is this going to manifest? I'd love this, but how is it going to manifest? And so I would start to do the practices, I would continue to do the practices that were pertaining to those specific goals or areas of my life that I wanted to manifest or get rid of. And so that was really helpful. So those of you who are just new to Dr. Pillai and the teachings through Astrovet or Pillai Center, start with that. And then if you have been around for a long time, like I have, this creating your life ahead program or service that they offer, it's like gold. Because if you know where you're going, then the road will be that much smoother, even if the weather isn't so great along the way. So that is a great thing to do, to find out where your Rahu is in your chart. That's a given. The astrologer will tell you that. And then also, these mystical beings, they have great power to grant you boons. So getting back to Varahi, I'm just going to give everyone a little darshan of Varahi. This is a yantra that has been around for a long time with me. I don't know if you can see it. There. It's big, so it's not even going to, you're not even going to be able to see it with my screen. But this is Varahi. It's sacred geometry. It's called yantra, and as Dr. Pillai says, it's a machine. So once you have this, it's kind of like a landing pad for this divine being to come and to bless you. And so it's so wonderful that this, through Astrovet and Pillai Center, this, I got her many years ago, and she hasn't really been coming out. The services haven't really been available, so this is the time for Varahi to come into the earth plane. And then if you can afford to do the Varahi service that is offered through Astrovet or Pillai Center, then it's going to help to calm down Rahu energy, because Rahu energy can be very poisonous. It will make us to go and do the karma that might not be so lovely. And you'll see it show up how. Can be like bickering, fighting, arguing every day with yourself, first and foremost, and then also with your loved ones. And you just can't even say anything without it being taken the wrong way. And then it just spirals into, oh my God, it's going to be like this forever. And why? Because Rahu is also associated with your paternal ancestors. So if you propitiate Rahu and you do it in a power time, where you can get the blessings of Varahi, then you will start to take care of that ancestral karma on the paternal side of the family. So find out where your Rahu is. Either you can get an astrology consultation, a live astrology consultation through Astrovet, or through one of the programs that you're in, maybe through Pillai Center Academy, or you can participate in the 2018, because if you order it now, then you will get it sooner. If you order it later, like me, I think it came in maybe February or March even last year. And I was like, I had waited too long to order it, and then I had to wait because there's a backlog. So that's why we always want to give you a heads up and let you know, educate you a little bit, so you can make your own decision about what it is that's going to be more powerful for you to use as a navigating tool, a spiritual tool, so you can move forward in your life. Radha, are you on?
Oh, Sucharita, we just had a question on the chat.
Yeah.
What would be a good mantra to use to honor Goddess Varahi between today and the Fire Lab tomorrow?
Yeah, so we'll do it during our meditation, but simply you can say Hoom Phat. HOOMPHAT. And that is a general mantra that will be like a nuclear warhead. It will go in and just destroy any negativity, any poisonous attacks, like a tss, coming from a snake bite, or, just even the presence of a snake. You don't have to see it with your physical eyes, but you might have like this just fear coming out of it's unexplainable. You're just terrified, or you're just creeped out, because snakes are creepy, right? And they also can smother you. So you might feel like you're suffocating, So you want to break free of that bond of an afflicted snake. Curse is a word. They call it snake affliction. I'm glad they do now, but it's like you're cursed. It's not like somebody said, "Oh, you are cursed," or they did something. They may have, but it can be just an energy that you feel like I feel cursed. I feel like everywhere I go, I can't, do anything that is going to be fulfilling, and nobody is receptive to me. I'm not receptive to other people. It's icky all around. Nothing is happening. I'm so stuck, and I'm just in this spiral. So we need to blow all that up, because that's what Rahu does too. It will explode things. It will make things to be huge. It will expand it. So if your fear is really little, and then Rahu's energy gets expanded, you want Varahi to come in and go fat, and blow that up. So not that it's going to destroy you, but it's going to destroy that attachment to that which you were destined to do, coming through your paternal lineage in particular, or past lives, where you don't even know. We don't even know what we did in past lives. It's all up there in the Akash. And at certain times, it comes down. That's why you want to understand about astrology. You want to know how to navigate according to you, because it's kind of like your blueprint. It's all about you. It's not about the balls in the sky that we call planets and so on. Those have beings, meaning they can be anthropomorphic because we need to relate to a shape. But the energy, the way of being, the characteristic, the quality, the intelligence is getting beamed in us. And then what our chart is saying, hey, this is your relationship to this being. So it's going to make you to be that way. So you find out how to be in alignment with their positive energies, and then they go, oh, I want to give you some more. So Rahu will also, once you take that affliction away with the help of Varahi, then you can be free to just have all that energy. And then Rahu will bring money. Unexpected wealth will come out of nowhere, or unexpected opportunities will come. Rahu is also associated with the internet. You might start an internet business. You might write an ebook. Anything to do with the internet is, and the World Wide Web is all about Rahu. In this day and age, at this point in time. So Rahu's energy is pumping into the earth plane and making us to have the internet, getting connected worldwide, having Zoom calls to talk about spirituality, to practice spirituality, because we can't go to a local place. So here we are, right? So that will help to reduce domestic disturbances, meaning that your conversation won't be dirty looks at the other person because of whatever they've done in the past or whatever you've done. It will be more like laughter, because Rahu will just like make you to see the illusion of everything. So you will see that, oh my God, we've just been fighting for no reason. And you won't even want to you won't even explore that. You'll just be wanting to create something, manifest something out of that chaos. Because Rahu can also cause you to be really chaotic in your mind. And I think Rahu, correct me if I'm wrong, is Rahu now is in Cancer, and that's the sign of the moon that rules, the moon rules Cancer. And so the moon represents your mind. So Rahu's can be digging up stuff that makes you to go feel like you're a little out of your mind, if not a lot. But it can bring up, these deep-seated fears or anxieties, and you're like, why am I feeling this way? And why am I having these thoughts? You can have nightmares. So doing your spiritual practices will also calm you down at night. It will give you, it will make you feel refreshed, even if you have had nightmares, because you will know that your karma is being played out on the dream plane. So you don't have to experience it in real life. That's why we look into what is the meaning of a frog, in my dream. And you can look that up on the internet and see if it resonates with you and gives you some understanding. But as Dr. Pillai shares, you can just get some karma worked out. Again, karma is your thinking. So we don't even know what our deep-seated thinking is that's stored in our cells, that we share with our ancestors. When we're mingling with other people, we might be picking up their thoughts and storing that in our subconscious or our conscious mind, where it's just going over and over, and we're like, it's all about them. Why am I thinking about them? I don't even want to think about, I want to think about what I want to do. So Rahu and Varahi will blast all that illusory, obsessive thinking to bits, and then you will have clarity. And then the goddess, like a mother, would just go and do all the dirty work, clean it up. Okay, on with your day, son or daughter, right? So you'll be able to transform that paternal ancestor karma, your own past life karma, and then maybe have some sudden wealth or something that brings you prosperity into your life. So maybe an opportunity comes where you get to make more money, you get promoted out of nowhere, and you've been trying and trying and trying, and nothing you've done up until this point, you think, hasn't gotten you anywhere. That's the illusion. It is just that if you know about Rahu and you know about this power time, then you can definitely tap into it in any way you can afford to do. There's lots of free stuff too. So just pay attention and get the blessings, and then learn how to navigate with that energy moving forward. So that is happening on the 26th, which is tomorrow, Sunday, for here in the West anyways. Don't know what it is for wherever you're from, but you can check it out. And then on the 27th, this whole month from November 15th to December 15th, so mid-month to mid-month, is called Kartikeya month, and it is a sacred month for Shiva. So this Somavaram, Soma means mind, and it also means the moon. So with Rahu sitting there in Cancer, and if you feel like you've been afflicted or you feel like you're just like not yourself, and it's not going to go away because it's going to sit there for everyone for 18 months. And I think that started several months ago. So we have a good year of it. So if it's been intense, then you got to pay attention to it, because it's not going to get any better. And then if you want it to get better, even better than it is, if you have a well-placed Rahu and you're okay, you're still going to have emotions coming up. You're still going to have obsessive thoughts coming up. You're still going to have thoughts that you didn't even think coming up out of nowhere. Wow, hi, I'm here, Rahu. I'm going to make you a little off center, if not a little mind-blowing, or a lot mind-blowing. So this month is sacred to Shiva, and he will, because you can really benefit when you do any Shiva ritual on a Monday. So take note of that. If you say, oh my God, I don't know when to do my rituals, I don't know who to pray to, I don't know anything, I'm overwhelmed, then just rule of thumb, general rule of thumb, pay attention to Shiva on Mondays. And you can do your Shiva Linga practice like Radha had shared. You can, pour some water or just sprinkle it on a Shiva Lingam. And that will do you a world of good. Why? Because it will get the blessings of Shiva. It's a spiritual technology. It's beyond the mind. It doesn't make sense that you would just go ahead and pick up this, this Shiva Lingam here. For example, you've got a crystal Shiva Lingam. You know, you just pick it up and then you just take a little bit of water and you just put the water, you can have it on a plate, but because I'm just showing you here, I think you can see it. You can just take a little bit of water and just pour it on. And that will do you a world of good. You may not think, oh, doing that is not doing anything. Yes, it is. Because it's forever, it's eternal. So just know, even if you don't believe in anything, or you're the biggest skeptic in the world, that's fine. Just keep doing it and see how skeptical you are. You'll see your skepticism is just an illusion. It's a choice of karmic thinking that you wanted to have, and now you get to clean it up, and then you get clarity around it. So then you can say Om Namah Shivaya on Mondays. You don't have to have a crystal lingam or any kind of lingam. You can just Om Namah Shivaya a lot on Mondays, if not every day. And then if you can every day, you can do it around sunset, because every day of the week is a pradosham, as a time where a pradosham is a window, mini pradosham, every day, 1.5 hours before sunset, wherever you are in the world. Then you can just be saying Tirnilakantam, which is the mantra that's a karma busting mantra, and you can visualize the throat and then a blue light coming into the throat. And even when you're sitting here now listening, whether you're on the phone or you're watching, or whether you're doing your laundry and listening, cooking, talking on the phone, just listen to your throat. Listen to your throat. How do I listen to my throat? That's where the karma is. Listen to your shoulders. What are they saying? So do you feel like you have to clear your throat or yawn or cough or, you know, move around so you can get that energy out of your throat? And you feel your shoulders are up like this and you don't even know it? That's the karma. The weight of the world is on your shoulders when things aren't going right, right? But when things are, you're free, you're fluid, and you don't have any pain. So that's the state of being that we want to get to. Now, as the karma is leaving, it can be painful at the body, the mind, the soul, right? Tiring, frustrating. So just doing your Shiva Lingam hydration is going to do you a world of good, and it's also going to do the world good. So the more people who are doing it in the world, we're opening up. These are the key practices to open up more divinity coming through, instead of this karmic moment brought to you by, oh my God, what were we thinking, right? So so that's what we want to do. So this is a powerful time every Monday. So Soma means moon, and Monday. It's associated with Monday, associated with Shiva. And then so doing that, participating in that for the next 3 Mondays during this mid-month to mid-month, mid-November to mid-December, you're going to get a lot of blessings to give you clarity of mind. So if you feel like everything that you've done up until this point has not given you that ability to be free and clear in your thinking. When you're free and clear in your thinking, guess who's thinking? The divine inside of you, your highest intelligence, will get expressed and create. Because everything in life is like a projector. Everything you've stored in this unit called brain, you pulled down some thoughts, and then brain made it, processed it all, and said, hey, this is what I am. So then it pushed out of these eyes that are like your windows. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. So it's seeing either good or not so good things. And then it goes and grabs that and creates a storyline. So it's the movie of your own life, right? So the mind, we really have a responsibility to make sure that we are doing whatever we can to clear our mind, at least for a few seconds a day, because that's all it takes. It only takes a few seconds for you to change. What if someone came to you and said, you just won the lotto. A few seconds ago, you didn't have it and you had debt piling up. Right? So that's what it is. You can win a beautiful relationship out of nowhere. So your dysfunctional, quote unquote, dysfunctional relationship can come out of nowhere and just say, I'm sorry, I love you, and let's make this all to be beautiful. And you go, what? Pinch me, is this for real? That's all it takes. So we do our spiritual practices to pull in that intelligence that will make that thing that we call miracle happen. Miracles are happening all the time. We just have to get in alignment with that time, so we're doing the right thing at the right time. That's our slogan. I like aligning with time, because you're just, as time is going along, we're aligning with the energy or intelligence that is going to be helping us to express ourselves first and foremost within ourselves, and then outside and interacting with others in a more fulfilling and more rewarding way. So that is, you can read about that again on Astroved or Pillai Center. It's a very powerful way to connect with Lord Shiva during this time of the year. It's a sacred month. So when you have a sacred month, it means that whatever you've done up until this point, forget about it. That's already past time. You can't keep obsessing about it. This will be the thing that interrupts it and pushes you into a whole new way of being. So on the 27th, there's a 4-priest fire lab for Mangalambika, and Mangala means auspiciousness. And Ambika is a form of the goddess Parvati that is associated with Lord Shiva, who is Kumbeshwara. So he is in the town, the temple, Kumbeshwara temple is in Tamil Nadu, and it is in Kumbakonam, and it is a place, it's a vortex of about, I don't know, I think 1,000 or 1,200 or 1,500 temples. So within a very small radius, relatively speaking, so there's a lot of spiritual energy for thousands and thousands of years. All these temples are there. It's like X marks the spot. So there's a lot of divinity that's coming through there. But this particular temple, Kumbakonam Kumbeshwara temple, named after the Lord Kumbeshwara, Lord Shiva, he's the consort of this Mangalambika. And what the significance of this temple is, this is where Shiva started all of creation after the great deluge. So when everything got wiped out with the water going everywhere and there's no land, this popped up. And then he, out of a pot, he created everything. And when you go to this temple, like many of us have over the years, and if you're in India, go now that you have this understanding. Or maybe you're curious now, okay, what's behind this, all the ceremony that's going on? Read about it on Astroved, read about it on Pillai Center. Watch the YouTubes. And then go to these places. And if you're not in India, you can go to those places because they're eternity. It's your thinking that will take you there. Do you have to go, oh, how do I get there? You'll just imagining yourself, if you participate in the services, definitely you will feel something within you, even though it's being done 15,000 miles away or however, whatever the distance is. And that will wake up inside of you the ability to create a whole new life for yourself. Do you need to know all the ins and outs? No. But definitely, if you don't have a job, you need to get a job. If you have a job that you hate or that you're just doing to pay the bills, it's getting you nowhere, then it's time to really get serious about your life and create something within you. And then do it with the blessings of the divine through these services. And then that will wake up something that will unfold. Just like I mentioned, that create your 27, it unfolded something in me that I didn't even know. And my intellect was like, how's this going to happen? And I don't have time to do all these remedies and these rituals. But I did my best. And out of it came all these fabulous opportunities that I would just say, oh my God, pinch me, who did that? Right? How did that happen? It's because we get out of this frontal lobe that limits us and we get into the midbrain. And the access to the midbrain in the subtle body is through the third eye. And that is the portal to the Akash that pulls in this fabulous manifestation, seemingly out of nowhere, like getting a lotto or having a beautiful relationship, or you meet the person who you've been waiting for all this time, regardless of, you know, whether you thought it was ever going to happen or not, or you have a baby, or, you know, you've been trying so hard to find the career path that is totally suiting you. How can you find a career path that's suiting you if that is so long ago? That's not even who you are anymore. So we need divine intervention. So this will help you. This participating and getting the blessings of Mangalambika, because it's all about the goddess energy that will destroy negativity. So forget about the past. And it's not easy to forget. It's so difficult. Right? Because even if you say, I'm over it, and then someone goes, oh, so how do you feel about that? And you go, whoa, I thought you were spiritually evolved. I did too. You know, so that's what happens. We don't even know what's going to trigger us. So participating in these spiritual practices and getting the blessings from these goddesses who are eternal, who are inside of us, who are also that energy that we can tap into and get empowered with, they will unfold it in a way that is so fabulous. So again, she has the ability, when you do your mantra practices, why is it that when you do your mantra practices or you're doing a ritual, and how come my life hasn't changed and I've done it a gazillion times, not 1,000,008, a gazillion and 8, and it is not working. I'm telling you, it's not. How many times have you said that to yourself? So if you get the energy or the blessings from this Mangalambika, she will help you, because she is also called the Sri Mantra Patisvari. And that means she's the one who has the power of the sounds, the power of the mantras. So mantra, again, man is mind, and tra comes from protection. So it protects your mind from being bombarded by karmic thoughts. That's why you're always doing japa, whether you're saying it to yourself or not. Japa means just repeating it over and over. So that energy will repeat over and over, whether you're moving your lips or whether you're even thinking about it. It's going on in the background. So when you get the blessings from her, she will put it on, repeat all the time, whether you know what's going on or not, because she has the power. She embodies the 51 alphabets, 64 art forms, and 360 billion mantra shaktis. Shakti is energy. And then when she merges with Shiva, he has 360 billion shaktis. So their energy together comes up to 720 billion shakti qualities. That is exploding in us. And what does that feel like? Bliss. And bliss is not, oh, it's all touchy-feely, lovey-dovey. It's just that when you're going through difficult times, you're not feeling it. Not that you're numb. It's just that this divinity inside of you is so balanced that nothing can rock your world. You're unshakable. Your mind is so purified every second, every millisecond, every 600 divisions of a second or something like that, some crazy number. As Dr. Pillai says, when you can be in that zing, You are pulling down from the Akash. Zing, 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 zing. Right? Bliss of the divine. And the divine is just that everything, no matter what is happening, everything, you see the divinity in all of it. So it's like the movie that you're projecting in, you know you're the character in it. And you know you can just get off the stage if you want. Or you can edit it. Right? How? You know the divine. You'll just say, oh, I don't want to do that. The thing divine will say, oh yeah, okay, what do you want to do now? You don't even know what you want to do. So here's something, right? So that's how we're playing. Life is all about a play of consciousness. So these divine beings come at particular times, especially during this sacred month, to help us to experience what it is to feel auspicious. And to shift, get away from the negativity. So she'll really give you a lot of power and protection. And then to wrap up the week and the month and get back to full moon where we started from in this conversation. I never know how long this is going to be or what we're going to say, but hey, it sounds like it's fulfilling. To me anyways, we'll see how it is for you. So December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, Dattatreya it's his birthday. So the Lord Dattatreya, and also Dr. Pillai's name, and also the energy that he has been blessed to bring to the world is Dattatreya. So his spiritual name is Dattatreya Shiva Baba. So his energy, because you are coming and you're exploring the teachings here, whether you're new or been around for a long time, he is giving out the knowledge or the technology that is going to bring in more Dattatreya energy. What is Dattatreya energy? It's the being, the archetype that has the ability to create, sustain, and also destroy any negativity. So create a new reality, boom, out of nowhere. It will just pop into you. And then it will help to protect that project or protect who you are now, or protect that mindset, the thinking process, from being bombarded by your karma that's going to come in and play out. Because it's a drag and that's what it wants to do. It just wants to drag time and life on. Right? So Dattatreya energy will come in, and because it's the Holy Trinity, it has Brahma energy, which is the energy to create. It has Vishnu energy, which is the energy to sustain or protect your manifestations and yourself and everything in the world. And then also the Shiva energy to destroy any negativity. So do we want to think about all that? No, that's just to give you some food for thought. Satisfy your intellect. You can read more about Dattatreya. But that energy is so powerful because it's everything. So it's beaming into the earth plane. We have Dr. Pillai, who is resonating from head to toe with that for so long. And he's just ready to push out all the teachings, push that energy out in all the teachings. So whether you're doing your Shreem Brazil, that energy to create, to sustain, and destroy negativity, create your manifestations, sustain your manifestations, protect them, and destroy any negativity, that is there in Shreem Brazil. Or it's in Tirne Lakantam, or it's in any of the meditations, any of the things that you are participating in. So Dattatreya is the incarnation of the Holy Trinity. And there's so many things, I don't even want to go over it, but read about it. Because what's great is when you get out of your mind and say, oh yeah, I know about Dattatreya Shiva, okay, whatever. That's okay, you can do that, but you'll be missing the hidden significance. And the hidden significance is where the secrets are. So why wouldn't you want to know the secrets of life? So at this moment in time, you can go read about it. He has 3 heads, 6 hands, 4 dogs. What? What does all that mean? And the three heads are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The four dogs represent the four Vedas, the four yugas, the four states of the word, and then the four states of existence. So there's so much information, so much knowledge, so much secrets hidden. Do you have to go and read all about all that stuff? You might. Maybe that's what you remembered and your soul wants to go and enjoy that, munch on that for a bit instead of your miserable life, or instead of your mundane life, or instead of that life that says, I'm good, and you're just cruising along. And then the karma comes and go, oh, not so good. I should have paid attention to something that would be moving my consciousness away from it. Because when you raise your consciousness, you fly above your karma. You just touch it lightly. You don't get pulled into it in that moment that it's going to deliver. And you never know when it's going to deliver. So that's why you want to get your astrology consultation. All right, so that's about Dattatreya. And the significance is it's on the full moon. And it's on Bharani star. And I'm very happy about that because that's my star. And it has going to be aspected by the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Holy auspicious. It is holy and it's very auspicious to manifest, to create out of nowhere, because that's what creation comes out. You don't create because you're working at it. You create out of something that gets conceived, like creating a baby. That's the biggest miracle, right? Conception takes place. What? How does that happen? But when it does, it creates life. So we can, whatever we're conceiving, it might be a limited conception. So you just say, okay, this is all I can do, God, God, higher self. But if you participate at this time in, read about Dattatreya, say his mantra. We're going to do the practice where you will get his mantra. And then you will experience the energy of creation, the energy of feeling comfortable, aligned with your highest self. And that energy will then project outwards into your life. And you'll start to see, you'll seek it out like a heat-seeking missile. And there it'll be. And then the Akashic thought will come, boom, at that place and that point in time, and explosion. So creation comes out of explosion too, right? Chaos. So if you feel chaotic, great time to create, because chaos is, it's just too much energy, draining and boring, and we're tired. So it will help you to get rid of mental suffering, ancestral curses. Again, the ancestors are part of our DNA, and they're in the spirit world, so they can be hovering and pinging us because we're on the spiritual path, and they're saying, hey, there's somebody spiritual in the family. Let's go bug them, right? And then we'll bug the other people too. But if you were picking up that the ancestors need support and blessings, then participate in this. So it gets rid of that anxiety that you don't even know. It's fear that's coming out of nowhere. Maybe you're afraid of success and you're going, no, I'm good, I'm okay. No, you're not. And you won't be okay. And then you'll have to come back in another lifetime. So forget about it. Don't say that you're okay, ever. You're never okay, because O and K that doesn't make sense, right? You want to be totally divine. You want to be shining all the time. Yes, you can be okay every now and then. I'm just saying, don't be okay and complacent, because the divine will ping you and maybe put you in a dark moment of the soul or dark night of the soul, and you go, what? I thought I was okay. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this happened. Because you said you're just okay. The divine isn't okay. It is so powerful. It just wants to express itself and be this divinity in everything that you do, everything that you say, and in everyone that you interact with. So it'll help you with time and management, and it'll help you to understand the time Shakti, so the energy behind time and planets and astrology. So astrology is exploding on the internet, isn't it? And then with AstroVed and Pillai Center, you can Find out about astrology through you. Don't take a course. Do you. Use your birth star and participate in these services. That will save you a lot of time if you're not supposed to be an astrologer and learn about it, right? So you can you can satisfy your intellect, explore about it, but go and participate in these opportunities that will help to awaken that energy behind time. And then you can, if you have a consultation or you get the 2018 Create Your Life in 2018, then you'll start to understand, oh, that's what these stars mean. That's what the planets are doing. That's the play. That's the dance that's behind the scenes, that's in me. And then you want to get more in alignment with that, those deliverers of time and karma. So we moved from Sundays to Saturdays time slot, and we changed because we were sunny and Sundays with Sucharita, and it was all fun for the past 4 years. And it was a great way to get a general introduction to the energy of time. But now we're in power. We want to empower ourselves with time. So not just let it go by. We want to take the power and the energy behind time during these power times. And then we will be living a whole new reality naturally. Not because we have any special, hidden knowledge. That they'll feel like that for a little bit. Hey, I know something. But you will not be knowing it on an intellectual, you'll be it. And then you won't even be saying, won't even cross your mind to say, whoa, I know some secret. You'll just be like, whoa, this is awesome. You won't even have time to explore it. It's just like, it's rolling out and you'll be in awe. Awe is creation. Boom, there it is, right? I'm saying boom a lot. That's the Rahu. It just wants to blow everything up and move on. So, final power time of this powerful month is the Deepam. So Deepam means light, and it's fire. Deepam can be, I think, yeah, you can see it just on my hand. There is a lamp, a ghee lamp that's lit. And it's next to a statue of Lord Muruga with his 6 heads, and that represents the 6 parts of our brain. But the significance of this particular time, power time, is that it's a full moon, and it's once a year, as Radha had shared. They go up this mountain. It's called Tiruvannamalai or Arunachala. Aruna means fire. Achala means mountain, so it's a mountain of fire. What is fire? Fire is consciousness. If we don't have fire, we don't have anything. We don't have electricity. We can't cook anything. We don't have, the fuel to put in our cars and so on, or in planes. So fire is what is required. It's not just because we went from the Stone Age into, this age. So it gets expressed through eternity on this mountain at this time, and says, hey, remember to propitiate Lord Shiva, because he actually is this mountain. It's rock now, but as Dr. Pillai shared in a video, if you go on to that under specials on Ashraveda Pillai Center, Kartakai Deepam, it is the time where we celebrate Lord Shiva as Lord Agni. Agni is fire. That's why you do fire labs, because you are in between earth and heaven. So fire always goes up, right? So what do we want our consciousness to do? Up. And we want to send fire up to purify all the negative congested energies or thinking, so that we get the divine thought to come in. So the priests that go there on, I don't even know how long it is, but they haul all this ghee up there, and they just burn the fire lab or homa or havan. They burn and offer to Lord Shiva, And you can actually see it. It's so huge. So you can imagine how much ghee is up there and how much fire labs they're doing for that whole period of time. And as Radha mentioned, and we've been there too, around that time where there's like hundreds of thousands, if not million, people going around this mountain. And it takes, I think, if you're going at a good clip, it may be like 3.5 to 4 hours, but if there's lots of people, it can take longer. And everyone is chanting Om Namah Shivaya or Om Arunachale Swaraya. So it's quite powerful. And you think, oh my God, what am I doing? But it goes really fast. And you don't even, some people feel it because what you do when you go there, or even when you tap into it, the energy through this service, you will feel the karma leaving you. So whether you're there physically or nearby physically, or you're participating in the services, you'll feel the blessings of Lord Shiva to get rid of the ego, which says, hey, pay attention to me because I know everything. And then it's just messed up because it's just coming from lifetime after lifetime. So it is Lord Shiva, and you can see the fire light. And then when you merge with that consciousness, you're merging with the purification of eternity. So you want your soul to get purified? Where is your soul? It's through these spiritual practices and observances that you will understand the process. Because you can be all floaty after meditation, or you go on a spiritual retreat and then you come back down and you're like, oh my God, my life. So if you participate in these services, then it's not going to be, oh my God, my life. You're going to be, yeah, awesome, right? This is my life, and this is Shiva consciousness, because she is Shiva, the male archetype within you, the male aspect within you, and then Va is the goddess. So it's the god and the goddess are totally balanced in you. So those energies like the yin yang, right, wrong, good, bad, all the polar opposites of how it is in the world and how it is in here with you, past, present, and future. It gets all merged and it becomes into balance. And it's interesting because Jupiter is in Libra now, transiting for this year, in that 12 months. I think it's been transiting for maybe a month or so. So it's bringing in, Jupiter is guru in Sanskrit. So it's bringing in these teachings. It's going to bring teachers to you. It's good. It's going to awaken teachings within you of memories that you've had in previous lifetimes, and then you go and explore them in a whole new light. And it will balance that which has been opposed. Good, bad, right, wrong. Don't know what I'm doing. Know what I'm doing. Up, down. I'm tired of this teeter-totter. So Jupiter comes in and says, hey, I'm going to give you a break, balance it all out. And then so you integrate the knowledge, and then you can easily get the benefits of these spiritual practices at this point in time. So also during this Kartika Deepam is a time where all the siddhas, as I mentioned before, and as Dr. Pillai shared, that the earth plane is a really powerful place to do rituals. So this is pretty much the most powerful time for all of us, especially people who are spiritual, on the spiritual path, in that you're going, you know what, there's something wrong with this picture, or not right with this picture of my life. And I keep reviewing it, and something's not right here. So people get on the spiritual path, and then they go, whoa, I don't know what this is all about either. So to balance all that out, you participate in feeding people. That's a spiritual checklist. There's a spiritual checklist for you to check your evolution, whether you think you're spiritual or not. So feeding people during this time where they're going around and because their souls, like our souls, are connecting to do something greater. We think we're just doing everything for ourselves. Yeah, that's true. But then to raise the consciousness of the whole planet, because this is like an X marks the spot for where Shiva is, and can create out of nothing, and can destroy everything that has happened up until this point that is not serving yourself at an individual level and also humanity at a collective level. This is the time. And then so the siddhas come, the sages come, the masters come, Jesus, all the prophets, across the culture, across the board, all cultures, all religions, whether they're still going on or whether they've died off. Those beings, those spiritually evolved souls will come to the earth plane and they will participate in this. So you will have kind of really mystical experiences or very real experiences. And people have said, and you can read about it on the internet, when they go there and they will have an experience with Jesus. They'll have an experience with Shiva or Ganesha or whoever it is that is going to say, hey, hello, I'm here. So there's some powerful rituals that are going on. Read about that. See if it resonates with you. But as Dr. Pillai said, this is the time for spiritually evolving, because we're not done ever. Sorry to say. Actually, I'm happy to say, because this is what it's all about, is to explore your divinity through this human experience, and then see how it's evolving everyone. And so the story goes on and on and on, right? Lifetime after lifetime. So you can be a part of that lineage, and maybe a siddha will show up. A siddha is someone who has mastered the state of being able to be in the spiritual world and also can give blessings to everyone, bring in technology, can jump into people. And then for some time, it can create whatever medicines. So they know how to get into a dead body and bring it to life. They can, whatever they say or think can instantaneously manifest. So when you're going around the mountain and you're doing that Om Namah Shivaya, Om Arunachale Swaraya, you are saying, Lord Shiva, I'm just limited in my thinking. I don't even know if this is going to work. Maybe you're not even able to go to Arunachala, but you will feel that energy at that time. So tune in at that time. This full moon is not one to miss, as Dr. Pillai says. Spiritual people especially, because they are already attuning or aligning with that intelligence, they will boom, instantaneously get it. And you only need 1 second. Here's your lotto. How's it going? So with that, we've come to the point of our practice, our call, where we understand now that this is a power time in the next week or so until the end of the month, where all this divinity that is within us needs to get unlocked through all the grace and blessings coming from everything that we've talked about. So we're actually projecting forth that which we know will help us. So we already can walk through that. How? We're going to go into meditation. We're going to go up into the space, the Akash, and we're going to say, hey, I want some of that juice. I want some of that divine intelligence. Because what in the space? What happens with time? It goes so fast. You can be light years away. We can be in 2030, as Dr. Pillai says. We can be having a thought from 2030. We might be dead and have come back again. our soul's journey. Oh, spin cycle. Anyways, so we don't have to do that. We can just go grab that intelligence, knowing that all these divine beings during these power times are going to pump into us because we sat and we paid attention. Or we didn't sit, maybe we're driving, maybe we're cooking, whatever we're doing, it doesn't matter. Because it's not about the blah blah. It's about the divine beings coming and pinging you. And then that intelligence is going to grow and it's going to unfold, whether you remember a word of what was shared today and you didn't do anything in this next week. I don't recommend it. Now that you know, hey, go after it. Something will get stirred and then you'll look back and go, oh my God, that's what happened. And I missed that opportunity. I missed that door. I missed that opportunity, right? The boss says, hey, you want to work on this project? No, I'm okay. What? You can go and work on it. The divine is pushing you, even if you don't know what the heck you're doing. Right? So out of nowhere, these things will happen and you will grab them because the divine is saying, hey, you're in the right place at the right time. Boom. You have all this intelligence, all the blessings. Go forth, produce, create. Right? Get fired up. This is all about fire, purification, cooking, making something of yourself. Not that you're going to stand on a soapbox and go, hey, look at me. It's not that. It's just get out of your old way of being. Get out of your way. And then allow the divine to come in and unfold so that you live a more fulfilling, more rewarding life. And everyone else wants to be around you and get your, feel that energy and feel that intelligence, feel the divinity, and they want some of it. And then you just have so much, you just pour it over and they don't have to know anything that you're doing. And in fact, you shouldn't push your spiritual opinion on anyone because every soul knows what their soul food is. So mind your own fabulous business, as we say here. And then when you are minding your own fabulous business, there's no time to say, hey, this is what I'm doing and you should do this. Then you're just spinning out in karma land. And it can be like caramel, it's sticky. So we don't want that. Right? So just do your practices and be discreet and just have your little laughter going on inside of you. And no one needs to know why you're so happy all of a sudden. Meanwhile, you've been happy all along, but then because it's pouring out in them, they start to feel happy and they're like, but it must be you because I'm a miserable person. And you go, oh yeah, well, look at the sun shining, or it's not. And then you'll just, make lemons out of lemonade or stick a veil in it. All right, so let's get into a state of receptivity where you will close your eyes, and it's probably a good idea that you don't need to be looking at me because I'll be looking at you. When you close your eyes, then the whole world is slowing down, the external world, and then you're going into your internal world, and that's where you want to create from. You can't create a baby from the outside. They won't just grow there. Oh, of course, maybe if you're that evolved, it will. So you want to get that creative energy within you. Get in alignment with it. Feel the power of it. So closing your eyes, you're going to put your awareness or your attention at the base of the spine. And that is the tailbone area. And then scan your inner eye down your legs. So you're scanning from your inner eye the energy or your awareness of what's going on in your legs. And then also in your feet and toes. So ground this experience fully into your legs and your feet. So with your awareness now, a light may appear, or you'll be familiar with the color reddish orange. And that light is associated with a divine being or archetypal energy that has the quality to remove obstacles. For you to have energy being released from the base of your spine and shooting up and activating all the chakras in the subtle body. So the being is Ganesha. And Ganesha is an elephant-headed being. He has a pot belly. He rides a mouse. And like elephants, he has utmost compassion. He's so compassionate. He wants everyone to experience the divinity within. So he's going to open the doorway. As you're paying attention, keep visualizing the orangish reddish light and see what it's doing in your pelvis, your lower back, your legs, the front and back of the legs, inside the legs, the DNA, particles of light, dancing, and we'll invoke the sounds of Ganesha to unlock the secrets of this light and sound vibration in you. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now feel that vibration of sound and light particles concentrating into a thin tube of light that arises from the base of the spine, piercing the navel, the heart, the throat, the middle of your brain, and then the top of your brain, and goes into the space. This light is an antenna that will pick up from the Akash, from the Akashic records, thoughts that are going to help you to manifest a beautiful reality. Whether you know them or not, you will align with it. And we'll call on Lord Shiva, represented by the sounds Uma Om Namah Shivaya. Putting them into the various spots in your body so that you know you're connecting with Lord Shiva's energy. Feel the sound of creation, the base of the spine. Move up to the heart. Allow the heart to expand. Move into the throat. Feel the throat. Ma. Now move up to the middle of your brain, the third eye. Now float back down to the base of your spine. Feel the energy of earth. Nam. Now move up into your navel, your belly button, abdominal area. Feel the energy of water. Align with it. Ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of your chest. Feel the energy of fire. She. Move up to the throat and the mouth. Align with the energy of air. Wa. Move up to the right and left eye. Feel the right and left eye. And the right and left brain. Scan it. Feel the energy of space. Ya. Now your chakra system is lit up. The Kundalini or Shakti energy is moving up continuously from the base of your spine, permeating through your whole being. Imagine Dr. Pillai standing in front of you in a light form or a form that you recognize, that's familiar to you. Feel your chakra system come alive just with you imagining him standing in front of you. And now he's beaming a light into your third eye from his third eye. Feel it piercing the spot between your two eyebrows and searing past the karma, past the illusion, past your ego interference that says nothing is happening. Just keep taking it in and go into the middle of your brain with that beam of light and feel it expanding, exploding your whole brain. Receive the power sounds, especially during this time when Dattatreya's energy is coming to bless you with the ability to create, sustain, and destroy negativity. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Feel your third eye tingling, pulsing, pressure. Explosion in the brain with this beam of light. Connect with Dr. Pillai. He's absorbing all your karma, all your negativity. Everything that keeps you stuck is getting absorbed into him. And he's blessing you with your highest self, your highest divine expression. You've just won the lotto. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Feel the sound, vibrations go deep into your brain, exploding in your brain, pouring through your whole body. As you let go of everything that is no longer serving you. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Feel your heart come alive. It's pounding in your chest. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. As your brain and heart connect, they expand and start pulsing. And as they're pulsing together, you put a smile on your face, knowing that you are awakening to a whole new level of you. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dhram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now, imagine a laser beam of blue light entering your throat. Feel it searing a hole in your throat, cleaning up the karma that is stored in the throat and pouring the blue light through the neck and into the shoulders like liquid light swirling around. Receive the blue light and the sounds. Tiranilakantam 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 Now the blue light enters the right eye, cleans up the karma in the right eye. Tiranilakantam, 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 the blue light enters the left eye, cleaning up the karma in the left eye. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now the blue light goes up the right nostril, piercing the third eye on the way up, piercing the brain. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now the left nostril. The light enters the left nostril, goes up, pierces the third eye, goes into the brain. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now the blue light pierces your right eardrum, goes into your brain. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now the left eardrum, the blue light pierces the left eardrum, goes into the brain. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now go to the mouth, the lips, the tongue. Roll the sounds on the tongue with the blue light. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Now go to the back of the tongue at the throat, the junction where the tongue meets the throat. Pour the light in there, pour the blue light in there, like you're drinking it. Tiranilakantam, 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 Tiranilakantam. Now your whole face lights up with these blue light particles. Your brain is filled up with these blue light particles. Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam, Tiranilakantam. Your head is so full that the blue light begins to pour down like liquid light down your limbs. your shoulders, your arms, hands, fingers, pouring down the body into the legs, feet, and toes, cleansing on its way throughout the body, through the guts, through all the vital organs, the muscles, the tissue, the bones, the DNA. Tiranilakantam. You're bathing in this blue light, the light of Shiva, the light of grace, the light of karma busting. Tiranilakantam. 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 Now, imagine the veil of Lord Muruga. It's a spear, a divine weapon that destroys karma, maya, illusory force, and also the limited ego mind. Imagine it implanting into your backbone the shaft of this spear or veil or lance. The shaft is your backbone. The head of the spear is your brain. And then the tip pierces the top of the skull and brings in divine intelligence, that of thousands of suns, light and energy, empowering you at the level of the body, mind, and soul. Auma. Saum. Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. We're calling on Lord Muruga to light up the intelligence of the veil within us, to lock it in so we're protected from karma, from maya, from ego. Om Saum. Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. See red. Red is the color for Lord Muruga. The intelligence of Lord Muruga is through the color spectrum of red. Om Saum. Saravana Bhavaya Namaha. Murugan Kumaran Gohan. Murugan Kumaran Gohan. Murugan Kumaran Gohan. Feel the veil come alive in you, burning, purifying, cleansing, empowering you to be your highest self, your God self. Om Vitrivel Subramanyaya Namaha. The veil is coming alive. Om Vitrivel Subramanyaya Namaha. Om Vitrivel Subramanyaya Namaha. Now a smaller image of the veil appears in your third eye. A veil is in your midbrain. It turns into a flame, a fire. Rukha Kumara Guha. See the flame in your third eye. Feel the energy of Lord Muruga empowering you. Rukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Now with your inner eye, imagine yourself bowing down into your heart. From your head to your heart. You're acknowledging the Maruka energy inside of you. You're falling in love with it. It's expanding in your brain and in your heart and everywhere in between. Maruka Kumara Guha. Maruka Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Murukha Kumara Guha. Merge with this red light, this divine being, the veil, the flame. As the whole body lights up from head to toe with red light. Now the goddess comes alive, the goddess Varahi, who is also red in color. She will purify any poison due to snake affliction. A snake is a mystical being. He needs to be propitiated. So Varahi will take care of that in you, in your consciousness. Om Varahi. Hum Fat Namaha. Feel the red goddess, the intelligence come alive within you from head to toe. Om Varahi. Hum Fat Namaha. She's exploding her energy, her love, her protection against any harm from Rahu or the snake affliction. Take out the poison, take out the bickering, the fighting, the disturbance, the fear, the hidden unknown anger, frustration, depression. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. Om Fat will destroy anyone who is sending negative energy, who is jealous or envious of you. She takes care of all that and puts it into the recycling bin of the cosmos. So it is no longer there between you or anyone. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. Varahi has a boar head. She will bore into the unknown parts of you, of your psyche, of your spiritual body, of your physical body, and root out any negativity, blow it to smithereens, diffuse it, so you're free. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. See her, feel her, observe her rooting out any negative congested energies. Whether you know about it or not, it's getting rooted out of you. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. You're feeling lighter. You're feeling as if you can free yourself. Floating away from this karmic congestion. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. Now feel the red light of Varahi's energy, consciousness, love, spinning in you like a tornado. Hum Fat, 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 Hum Fat. Fat, 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 fat. It's spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning out everything that is no longer serving you. Fat, 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 fat. Om Varahi Om Fat Namaha. Be still. Feel the blessings from all these divine beings. Hold on to it. Bathe in it. Vibrate with it. Shake with it. Express your gratitude to Dr. Pillai for taking you through this process. as he is in Tiruvannamalai now. Om Arunachaleswaraya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Dhram Dattreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world, peace to the universe. Bring your attention back to yourself. Come back from the space. Stay connected to it. But bring that energy, that intelligence, integrate it into the present moment. As you slowly, slowly come back to yourselves, and then when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can take your time, stay in it as long as you want. Thanks for joining. If you need to go, can listen to the recording. It'll be posted to the blog, and then Yagna will do the write-up on the call, and Radha will send it out. Thanks to Radha and Yagna for being here, transitioning over from Sundays to Saturdays, and supporting everyone here. It's a great time to give thanks, because we want to cultivate that attitude of gratitude, and then everything will happen that is more favorable and fulfilling and serving a higher purpose. And you don't know what that's going to be. So Radha and Yagna didn't know what it was going to be a year ago. I mean, 4 years ago, but here they are, continuing on, and thank you. And thanks to everyone who's joining for the first time, and hope you see you again. And those of you who have been coming all these years, keep coming. So this is a time where we open up the call. If you have questions for Radha, you can definitely ask her. I think she's still here. Are you here, Radha? Are you here, Radha? Yeah, there you are. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, Radha's still here, and she'll be happy to share with you. Or if you have any feedback, comments, shared experiences about whatever we've discussed and meditated upon, tapped into. That's what we do here in Power Times. We get empowered. So Ayana says, thank you, deep, profound, inspired meditation. SVP is saying amazing. And this is what it is, right? I feel much better. So people are posting on the chat, for those of you who are listening on the call. As Ayana says, I just came out of a fog. Awesome. That's what we want, to move away out of the congested, foggy thinking that is not serving us. It needs to be cleared. And then we can create. Jerome says, powerful and also relaxing. Wonderful. So that's the divine calls each and every one of us to be in the right place. Whether we've had 3 hours of sleep like I had since last night to this morning. And then I have another call coming up pretty soon, like in about 15 minutes. So we needed to share a lot with you today, because the sun is transiting, and the sun represents your soul. We want your soul to be speaking to you and coming alive and being alert of these power times that are available. Whether you participate in the services that are offered through Pillai Center or Astrovet or not, this intelligence is going to come alive in you. And so it will ping you, and then you'll have the newsletter. It will say, okay, you can do this mantra or this practice. So do it at those times, even if you do it for 2 minutes. You only need a second to get that lotto ticket, right? Now that you're clear. But you can do this meditation practice to get into that state where you can have access to divine time. And then get the boons that are, the divine beings are ready to pour it into you because you're resonating inside. These divine beings live inside of us too, in our subtle body. And they're just like, yay, you've woken us up. Now we can pull all that energy from the ether that's eternal and pour it into you. And then you grow and you expand. And then you pour that out into the earth plane. Yay, thank you. So get excited about it, even if you're like, oh my God, nothing's happening and I'm so depressed and I'm so mad and everything. That is just karmic cesspool. So get out of the cesspool. Just take a break from it. And then go into this divine state, and then you will be experiencing something unimaginable. Yeah, some people are saying I'm shaking, and that's because this intelligence is coming into you and it's rocking your world. It has to. Your world needs to get balanced and bring it up to the level of a higher state of consciousness and keep pushing it up and pushing it up so you don't drop down and go, So we don't have time to do that. So when we go into these power times, then it will always push us up, push us up, push us up. And then collectively, we will pop the lid on totally unconscious behavior in the whole world. And we won't have to stand on a soapbox and say, oh, that's bad or that's good or whatever. We don't have to rally. We just go straight up. And that's the highest, fastest, easiest path. It's a little tricky along the way. That's why you have someone to guide you, like Dr. Pillai, and we're here to facilitate that process. So if people are sharing, oh, nice, I feel from depths of my soul, I experience beautiful. Oh, that's nice. Really at peace. Yeah. When you're peaceful and you're calm, you can face anything. And no one can shake you. Not that you go, hey, I'm powerful. You just are there, you're present. And then instantaneously, faster than a snap of a finger, the whole world, your whole world can change. And then you can change everyone's world by your presence, because your presence is actually your absence. So we are absent from all our karma, and the presence and gifts, presence, are there for you. The presence of the divine is there, and that's what pours out into the people. So there's a couple of links that were posted also to the chat, and go find out about Deepam. It is, as Dr. Pillai shared in the video, watch that little video clip. Oh my God, I was just taken to a whole altered state. There's so much, and it's great. I have subtitles. I click on the option subtitles or captions. Read that as you're hearing him speak. And it's only like a few minutes, so you can read it or watch it a couple of times. And it will just sink into your consciousness, and you'll be like, ah, yes, this is the time of the year that I can make this change in my life. It's not just the end of November, beginning of December. It is a power time. Whether I go to Arunachala or not, I'm going there. The I am, the highest consciousness, your highest I am self. And then getting that karma straighten out, meaning toss out what's no longer useful, and then bringing in divinity. So this is the time of the year to do that. Namah Shivaya, Arunachaleswaraya, Arutparam Jyoti is also a great mantra. Mantras for Lord Muruga. So it's don't get stuck, oh my God, what do I got to do? We'll tell you all that. We'll give you all that in the emails. So thank you so much, Radha, for sharing your fabulous insights for the month ahead, and then also giving us some information about the stars. The stars are not just a bunch of shiny things in the sky. They are us, and we come from the stars. We're particles of that intelligence, congealing and creating our consciousness. So know your stars, know your planets, know the sun, know the moon. Get that knowledge. That is true wealth, because that will do way more than your bank account. And it also put your bank account up too in very mysterious ways, like the lotto. So maybe, Estelle, if you have questions for Radha, or anyone has questions for Radha, please, Radha, can you post our email ID that they could send an email to you, and maybe you can guide them specifically about their situation? Or what I would recommend, Estelle or anyone else, go get an astrology consultation, or at least a written report. And if you can't afford that, then just go on to Astrovet and read about your star, read about your chart. You can download all that. But if you get it from an astrologer, they're going to see into your life for you that you cannot see. And then it's all about you. It's not, hey, they're going to do predictions. You're going to go and ask them, what is my star? What is my quality? What are the planets that are going to help me with my problem? So go to them with one, maybe two things that you want them to give you insight about. And then get that sorted out, because that is the disturbing force for you. And you need to get it cleared. Once that is cleared, everything else falls into place. Right? So the astrologer is going to enlighten you, going to shed light on you. And then you're going to feel lighter, more intelligent, and then have some tools and knowledge that will relieve you of your stress and give you practical guidance. And then get that 2018. I can't tell you what a gift it has been for me and so many people. We all kind of chuckle and go, we had this, it was a roadmap, and even when we weren't looking, it was driving us towards, as we were doing our spiritual practices, it was pushing us towards manifesting all those great things in life. Yeah, so Radha has posted Powertime practice at Pillai Center, and we'll post the links to the practice room. So don't worry about anything. All right, so thank you, Radha, again. You're all shiny and beautiful and full of knowledge that I'm so happy and we're all blessed to receive from you. So thanks for coming and joining. Did you want to say anything before we wrap up?
No, thank you for having me, and thank you for all your insights. You were really on fire this week.
Oh, there it is, right? The fire comes through. That's the divine. So thank you so much, Radha. Thank you, Yagna, wherever you are. You're always there holding the space and capturing all these fabulous gems that come from the divine. We never know. And thanks to all of you out there who joined live and who will listen later on. Please share this with your friends and family members if you feel that it would resonate or work for them. If not, don't force anything on anyone. They will come in their own time, or they will just get on their own spiritual path, and you will be so happy, because the divine is not like my God is better than your God. My practice is better than your practice. We just have a memory from lifetimes ago, or one lifetime, maybe this lifetime, of being with our spiritual master, Dr. Pillai, who came in different forms, just like we were different people. Our soul wanted to express itself, all these lifetimes in different ways and try to make it better. But congratulate yourself and thank yourself for opening your soul up to get this guidance from Dr. Pillai. At this point in time of your soul's evolution, because he's going to take us, he's taking us there. And whether you come or go, that's fine too. It's all good. Just come, enjoy, participate, do your practices, and we'll see you next time. Thank you all. God bless. Thanks to Dr. Pillai for always being here with us, whether he's thousands of miles away or in the space or in different realms. He's connecting to our souls, our hearts, our beings. So we'll see you next time, and have an amazing week ahead. Safe journey for those who are traveling, and namaste.